Hello everyone and welcome back to the 11th episode of Seaside Park. And in this episode I will be finishing off the station building in its entirety and also be starting on the queue and the little plaza in front of the station building as well as the souvenir shop. So there's a lot on the planning for today. And this is actually part 2 of the previous episode. In the previous episode I didn't quite finish the station building in like the time period I set for myself. In the way of if I wanted to finish the station building, I would eventually be ending up with like an episode that is over like 40 minutes long, and I thought let's just not do it and just stay with like the episode length I foresaw for like this kind of content, and that is around 20 minutes. Now this episode will be a little bit more of stuff because the whole episode is only like a real-time part in the end and not in the beginning, because this is recorded right after I finished the previous episode. So yeah, that's the reason why there is no real-time part in the beginning and no explanation on what I done, because there is literally no progress to give you. Also, in the meantime, while I was not recording this episode, I eventually started doing some supports for the coaster, because it's also a necessity. And now that everything's done, I can just finally focus me on finishing the area surrounding this whole coaster. So yeah, that is that. I will also be adding some rides. I still don't know where. I only have like a water playground, a splash pad, that is, and a Zamperla Rockin'Tug I made in one of my standalone videos, which I still need to come up with one to actually give a little bit of variety in the content I'm giving you guys. So yeah, because right now I think I am doing a little bit too much of this, and I know how much you guys want this series to continue. I just also try to foresee some difference in like content ways. So what I always try to do is get a little bit of not 2 episodes of one and the same thing after another. I normally do like an episode of Seaside Park and then something different in between, and then another episode of Seaside Park, because Seaside Park is a set series for this channel and I just can't abandon it. That's why I'm also always looking for inspiration, because once I am stuck it will take a while to actually get something for this park and getting it to have more progress and more new buildings and that kind of stuff. And that can sometimes be really hard, and sometimes I'm just thinking of starting on a complete new area, but then I'm thinking that this area isn't done and that wouldn't fit well with the series quite right. So I just chose for this series to follow a chronological line, and not that I'm working on one coaster for 1 minute and then another one the next. So will just try and keep it as keep the content as like centered around one thing as possible. So after this is finished, I need to see if I will be going the other side in the entrance area to like the Mech Hyper Coaster, but I also want to do that as like a series finale. So I think next on the planning will be a B&M dive coaster, because I think that would just be so cool to have it in the park. It was that or an invert, but I don't know with an invert. I think a dive is just much better. It will also give like a thrill coaster in the park. together with the Mega Hyper Coaster as well, and then also the I still need like a coaster type. I want it to be actually more focused, so I'll probably do like a small kiddie coaster somewhere as well, but I just need to see where I have space. So there's also a little bit more of the future plans of this park, and also what you can expect from some future episodes, not these ones, but yeah, I will try and get this area finished as soon as possible, but also try to have it like be quality. And if we talk about like file size of this park, because I just can't keep building on this park. This park is growing every episode. Maybe not always the same as it did, but right now we are at 1.02 megabytes in file size. That is just for one coaster area. If we do 4 big coasters, we come at around 4 megabytes, so I hope we at least can finish the park before we reach the file size. So also what you're seeing me doing here is I am working on the bottom of the station, because that's the only place that wasn't supported, so added some supports there. Also expanded it so there's like a little small maintenance area underneath the station for like the drive tires in the station that are not there, but just imaginary speaking, and all that kind of stuff for like the air gates. So after I got inspired by the station Megalodon, I needed to add a stair to get actually up to like the level we are at, and that is what you see here. I made a little bit of I made a stairway to go up to the balcony and then to the station, so guests can actually reach the air gates above. And then it was time for a little small souvenir shop. I know we have one at the main entrance, or just entrance in general, but I was thinking this is such a big coaster. It's going through like half of the park actually. It deserves to have its own souvenir shop like every other major coaster will be getting in this park. So I'm just making a small souvenir shop, also experimenting with some windows, because I actually had a little vision for this souvenir shop, but it didn't turn out quite well, so I just stuck with the windows I made for like the station building and placed it back in as you soon as we'll see. So I just did not like this window design as much as I thought I would, so that's the reason why I was just going back with the original design. Also, I still need a name for this coaster, because in the next episode I was planning on actually making the entrance sign for this coaster. So if you do have a name recommendation, please let me know, because I've also been toying around with AI to get a name, but there's just nothing that hits right, so I am still looking. And I also made a post about that, and I also got some name recommendations that fit the theme, but I just couldn't go with, like Golan said, Mariner, Rippy said Flying Fish, as always, joking Rippy. The Gertz, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, said, how about Shark Bite? And Avery said he has no clue for a name. So I'm still looking for one. So if you have a cool name ID, let me know down in the comments, because I am still looking for a name and I just can't seem to get one. It is quite hard to actually get a name. So continuing with like this area, we also need to have a little plaza. I thought I wanted to do this different until I got the idea of like the souvenir shop, because normally I would have this area just for the queue alone, but then I thought of a souvenir shop idea, and then I came up with this idea, and I quite like it. It's a small little plaza where I'll also be doing some stuff, placing some stuff as well. But yeah, in the turn I'm making now, there will be like an entrance, as I will explain in like the real-time part, and then just a little bit of a place where you can wait till your family members or your friends roads the coaster. So yeah, we also need to think of that. Trying to be all-inclusive right there. So yeah, here I'm also replacing the door as well, and then just finishing the plaza path off in its entirety, and then I think the rest of the episode will be building the queue, if I am not mistaken, of this coaster. And as you also may see, I have also been playing around with painted terrain to actually give an outline of where I want everything to be, and once it was all in place, I just painted it grass again, just for the game to remember it easier, because I think that also takes up a bit of file size as well, and I'm just trying to get as much stuff in with the least amount of file size, and I think it's working for now, but there's still some little things that need to be done as well. So yeah, here I am also actually starting with the fencing for this area. I thought the fence I made for the water pad there would also fit great here, because it's still the same Scandinavian kind of like style, and the fence itself just looks pretty good in my eyes. And this fence will not be used in the queue. I made an entirely new fence for that, with way too many items actually. That might hurt the file size. So yeah, here I actually also got an idea for how I want to do the area as well. But I'm just looking around, seeing how everything fits together as well at some point, so that's why you might see me running around here and there to see if this actually fits in like what I had in mind. So yeah, here I actually came up with like an idea of doing a little bit of pebbles, little rocks underneath the coaster itself, so it's easier to check the supports in the morning for some unwanted damage, some bolts that loosened during operation the previous day. So that's also some things that need to be done, also some parts that are part of the things that keep you safe in a roller coaster. Every bolt is looked after every morning. So yeah, and also because I think gerstlauer coasters have footers under the ground, that's why you can't see them. And it's just easier to get the gravel away and see where check the footers actually for some damage if necessary. And yeah, which is also easy to place back. Just thinking of the simple things that are necessary to actually keep a coaster up and running safely. And yeah, now that everything of that is done, the rest of the episode will contain some queue works, like placing fences and building the queue path, and also adding a little bit of nature around the queue. And little spoiler warning, and the queue won't be completely finished because came at a part where I was like, okay, this is for the next episode. Because I thought that I'd been recording long enough, and I actually recorded a little bit longer than necessary for an episode. Still, 23 minutes is fairly decent for a episode of Seaside Park. So, yeah. So the rest of the queue will be finished in the next episode, together with some extra theming and stuff. But all of that will be explained in the next episode. And here I am finally starting with like the ground queue, looking up for some fences, and eventually ended up going for like the fence of like where the entrance is of Megalodon. And yes, I have been referencing Megalodon way too much for this coaster because it is inspired by it, and I think I will be doing the same thing with the dive coaster, because I think I will be mentioning Emperor, the dive coaster, a little bit too much in the next thing, even though it doesn't have that much steaming, I think. But yeah, still, it will probably be the coaster I am going to take some inspiration from. And I think you will see more of that once I eventually start building the dive coaster in the area, which might also take a little bit of tries for like getting the layout how I want it to be, and also see if I can interact like or make it so I can have the queue in like a way that is doable without the coaster actually touching some parts of the paths, and yeah, that kind of stuff where you need to look at to actually get everything safely, because I'm trying to be also as realistic as possible, and yeah, I just think it will be great. So yeah, more of the dive coaster once I actually start building it, but right now we are actually sticking with like the Scandinavian theme for like halfway up the lake, I think, and then we'll be going over to a different kind of theme. Anyways, that's it for this episode, and I'll see you in the real-time part. And welcome back to the real-time part. It may look like a little bit of a shorter episode, but trust me, it isn't, because normally I would do a little introduction in the beginning of what I did off screen, but that didn't happen because this episode was actually recorded right after the last episode. So with that, and we're going to actually do a little bit more of like a tour of what happened in the past 2 episodes, even though I did one last time. So yeah, anything that's new in this 2 part episode actually is kind of like the boat ramp area, and then the plaza in front of here where the queue would actually eventually start from there on. So the queue would go from here underneath there and then into this little bit of zigzag part. I will also try and do an extended queue in like this area, because then that area is used as well, and I'll probably just do some trees around here to actually make it look like a forest, place a forest kind of like area. It's the same as there, so that will be near the end when we reach the file size, or nearly reach the file size. Like I will do that with everything I got from the money farm, because the money farm also takes in a little bit. I think it's 0.1 megabytes, but no need to worry for that right now. We still have 3.25 megabytes left, if I am not mistaken. So yeah, but anyways, after you've done that part of the queue with a little bit of the extended area there, you come here. You have like nice views on the station, not so nice views on the tracks, but I still think it's pretty decent, because this is the only area where I could place a queue. So you walk off the queue, you get up here, and here is the station. But first you get walk this off, so I had this station use a little bit more of queue space. I wanted to do as long as queue can get, because this is the first roller coaster you see when you enter the park. So yeah, anyways, then you have like this, just a station building in general. This is supposed to be like a ship ride kind of like area, not necessarily one, but just trying to be. There's just a little warehouse where the submarine where you take a dive in will be represented. And then yeah, you exit via this ramp. This is also wheelchair accessible, so if you are in a wheelchair, you can put your wheelchair here and you can ride the coaster as well. So then you take this ramp down and you follow the path. Here is like a little maintenance area. Still need to make doors, but yeah, this is little maintenance for station. And then if we continue this walk, we come under the walkway from the queue and then into a little souvenir shop I still need to decorate, which will probably happen off screen, so you will see it once I actually am done, once I actually made some progression in there. Also, a little bit of stuff that happened off screen is I finished the supports. So the track work is complete now. Everything that needed to be done on the coaster with supports and catwalks and connector pieces is done. Yippee. And now it's just onto like theming this area like a little bit more. I think the coaster will just go through some bushes, some trees, not that much. I will be making some Scandinavian houses to breathe a little bit more life into this. And then, yeah, we'll also add some water because right now the only water in the park is there. So I'll probably add like a pool here or there to actually give a little bit of life. Maybe I could do a little bit of water here on the edge of the border. Yeah, I can, as long as it is like one from the border. So yeah, so that is that. I think that's everything I needed to say about what happened in these past 2 episodes. And yeah, next episode you'll probably see a little bit of progression on like this kind of stuff. And for next episode, I will be finishing this plaza, finally completing the queue, and then just in general this area, and maybe a little bit of like the work I want to do around the track. What I already started here, I just thought that isn't very interesting to show you guys. So yeah, that's that. So that's the reason why you'll probably see most of that completed off screen, because it's a little bit of boring work. And yeah, that's everything that's going to happen in the next 1 or 2 episodes. I don't know how long it will take. We'll also be doing like that house off screen. It will also be more in the style of this one. Maybe a little bit of a forester thing, like a little bit of an industrial area from Scandinavia here as well. So anyways, if you like this video, you can like the video. If you want to subscribe, it's completely possible. You can do it for free. And with all that said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.